Hello, hello, hello. I just want to say one thing. What was I going to say? Oh, yes. Sometimes people wonder if somebody doing something hurtful and harmful and immoral, they are asking the question, is he or she, very often she, but no, very often he, I mean. Haha, he, I mean, he. Hello, my name is he, I mean. Whether he, I'm going to use he. I don't want to say they or the person. I'm a he and I identify like that. And so the easiest thing for me is to go he, right? And I would appreciate, I do appreciate when women say she because they're women. And when trans persons say trans person or person, I appreciate that. But I like the easy way out. He. So here we go. Ah, back to square one. Where was I? Long story short. Distort. Yeah. They then ask, is he ignorant or is he lying or doesn't he know or does he pretend not to know? Not to know. And I would always say that ignorance plays the bigger part. May I refer to Jesus who says, "Forgive them, for they do not know." I'm sure he spoke British English. As in, if you, this is my point. Here comes my point. Tickling my lamp. My point is this. If you, let's say if I hurt somebody, then I could say that if I truly knew what I was doing, I would not. Why? Because if I truly knew what I was doing, I would understand what I was doing completely. And part of the understanding is the feeling I create, the feeling of pain when I cause pain, right? So unless I experience the pain I am causing, I am ignorant of a part of my action. That's logic, right? Because if I understood fully what I was doing, I would also fully feel the pain because that is part of the understanding of the whole situation. So always we are ignorant, of course, of everything but what we experience ourselves, and only not ignorant to the extent that we understand what we experience, right? But if I'm hurting you, if I hit you, to understand the action of hitting completely, I would have to feel both sides of the situation because that's the other side is part of the full content of my action. So, in a way, if I cut a slice off a sausage, to fully understand it, I would have to be the sausage as well as the knife and the board on which I cut it, cut it, and on which I cut it. And you see, the point is that to fully understand what you're doing, you have to feel everything that comes from your decision, right? And we cannot do that. That's impossible. So we're all ignorant. And I have a firm belief that if somebody who is a dictator fully understood the impact that using power has on everybody around him, where's that woman dictator? It's hardly. It's a bit hard to find a woman dictator in history since women have not been prevalent in politics for long, forever. Oh yeah, there are our Queen Margaret. She's an exception. She's nice. She produces art, and I Googled it, and I found out that the first piece of art she ever produced, I think it was the first, for something, she presented under an alias, what's it called? An alias. It's called, when you, yeah, so that nobody would know that it was her, because she wanted an honest. She didn't want to be accepted because she was the queen. She wanted to be accepted, or her art to be accepted, because it was good, and it was chosen for the project. Uh, so that's my kind of queen. If you might like a queen, I mean, I believe that the kind of monarchy we have in the Scandinavian countries is very much cheaper than police protection of presidents. You have to have somebody to present or represent your country, and that's the president's job, right? In America, you have a vice president, and then you have what is that called? Hillary Clinton's role, I don't remember, Secretary of State. And they have to be the face outwards, right? In Denmark and Norway and Sweden, the king or the queen is rather the person representing the people, just like it once was actually before monarchy and what's that called? Monopoly, monarchy, true monarchy. We call that enevælde, which is one power. It's like Mussolini's and Mao's and Stalin's. Nothing to do with socialism. It's just dictatorship. Enevælde. One leader, one rule, blah, blah. They had it in England. They had it anywhere, everywhere. So, where was I now? I just wanted to say that. Oh, goodness gracious me, I've forgotten where I was. Oh, yes. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. I was talking about ranting, rabbling, babbling about is he ignorant or is he lying to himself? Yeah, well, I believe a good liar lies to himself. This is going to be a long night. Good liars lie to themselves because when you believe what you're saying, it's more credible to others as well. This is all very fundamental. And this is how belief can move mountains. You say faith, but faith is not belief, it's belief in someone, right? You have faith in something or someone. It's more that, it's more heavy than belief. I believe that 2 and 2 is 5. Well, let me tell you, like 2 and 2, here we have 2, and here we have another 2. Now, count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yes, it's 4, right? Now I don't believe it's 4, but faith is more in the, it's like one level up, and you have to think, well, what is my mind? What is my consciousness? What is everything? How can I even discern? How can I tell consciousness from unconsciousness when I'm unconscious a third of my life, like when I'm sleeping or when I'm voting for an idiot, when I'm walking and thinking about something else, and then I've walked 100 yards and I think, oh, how did I get here? I was thinking about the checkers or chess or musicals or ABBA, Addis Ababa or Madras, mattress or Goa. Goa, check for yourself, which I didn't. But anyway, forgive us all. Forgive each other. We should forgive each other because we should know that none of us know crap about even crap. I mean, just decades ago, somebody found out that you could have transplants of internal bacteria, yogurt and stuff like that. You could have them pushed up the other way in a clear liquid. You know, you can't see them. It's not that you have a brown thing going up there. It's just they extract the bacteria and then they ingest them into you backwards. And it's, I'm told, I've heard it's going to change lots of things. And of course, for every one cell I have, there are 10 cells of bacteria in my guts or on my skin. And I've also heard you shouldn't wash too much because those bacteria are keeping away harmful ones because they are, uh, what's it called? This, this, acclimatize this. So what's the word? We have come to you. Well, this. Uh, integrate, but it's not that. Wait up. There's a web page. It's called Rhyme Zone, and I will check it now. And before I got there, I remember the word assimilate. So, the bacteria on our skin and in our gut is assimilated. We are living in, what is that called? What happened to all the words? Syn, syn, symbiosis. We are symbiotic, not just socially, but we are biologically symbiotic because we have our gut flora and our skin flora. Our skin is an organ and it weighs 5 kilo on average. That's our heaviest organ, but it's very important. If you put poison on our skin, it can get into us and kill us. This is why you can touch some very poisonous plants and die. That's it. I digress, and for good reasons, because I'm ignorant. And this is all about ignorance. We are ignorant. We don't fully understand. I expect that a psychopath, since they all say, some say different, but most of them say that psychopaths have no empathy. Somebody said once, and you can check this out in a Danish newspaper called Weekendavisen, the weekend paper, where Lone Frank, I believe, was reviewing a CD 20 or 25 years ago by somebody, some psychologist, who had found that psychopaths or sociopaths could have empathy, but they only use it to manipulate others. They know where people are. So you can say it's a shallow empathy. Maybe that's the compromise between what she said and what the CD said and what everybody says. But anyway, that they used this and they did so. This is the point. This is very interesting. They did so because they lack abstract thinking. And I remembered this when I saw Donald Trump running for president 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and I thought, yeah, oh, that there's something to that. But I think it's quite a simple dynamics. You know, you when I've experienced myself being in a group of people. I mean, I went to a good school once, uh, ex, only good, exclusively good schools. But once there was this class where the feeling around the class was that everybody should be included. We should not have cliques and we should be it was in the air. I just felt it. Everything. We were tired of mobbing. Still, we had staff for that. Mobbing. Everybody's mobbing previously, or some people were, and it was very tiresome. It's boring. It's a waste of time. It's really boring. It's as boring as war, just smaller, but it's the same as war. It's boring, right? So I got the experience that this class was all into because this was 1974. No, nope, nope. 1970, actually. So it was just after the summer of love and stuff like that. Beatles were blowing our minds, and we were all going somewhere. Music was expanding into 1,000 undefinable genres because of Beatles and others, of course, like Genesis. Come on, wow, Jethro Tull, Procol Harum, Pink Floyd. I mean, they set so many roads out for everybody to travel, and what's happening now? Anyway, I digress again. Hmm? But the thing of inclusion in this class, where was I going? Somebody's singing down in the street. It's very nice. I love when people express themselves. I was talking about abstract thinking and Lone Frank, and her review of a CD where a psychologist was explaining that psychopaths or sociopaths could actually have empathy, but they only used it to manipulate others, to, you know, spot their weak points and, navigate. And then I told about this class I entered where people were nice. I mean, I'm losing the point again. The abstract thinking. That's it. That's it. Why I mentioned this class? I mean, I felt so comfortable and safe with these people. They were so sweet that, I sort of only had myself to blame for my insecurity. I mean, I knew this somehow. These people could be trusted. And then I'm thinking that if somebody lacks abstract, because here comes. Wait. When you're together with a lot of people having fun, bantering, as they say, and throwing words and sentences across the room in a chaos, because people don't keep quiet. They sometimes go in groups and oh yeah, while other people are going yeah, long distance, short distance, local, global. So this can be confusing to somebody with uh, a limited capability of thinking in abstractions, abstract thinking, it's called, and so that can be scaring. This is what I heard about this theory from the weekend paper Weekendavisen by Lone Frank, where she reported this. She reviewed this CD by a psychologist, and can be very complicated. Also, there's part of my thinking in this too, because I can't really tell them apart. But I was thinking that, if you don't have, they were mentioning the lack of abstract thinking and the taking control because of, you know, the insecurity. What was my part? I don't remember. Maybe it'll come up later. But then what happens is that instead of joining in and saying something or shutting up, and just feeling okay whether or not you have something to say. You don't have to be funny all the time. You don't have to be number one. You can just float along. You're safe with these people, right? But it's still hard for the mind to follow, right? And it can just force you into or not force you, but it can leave you the option of trying to control. Oh, let me look. I don't understand what they're saying here. So maybe I could just take control and stop this intellectual thinking that's going on and talking this high level thing. I don't want to look like a fool, so I'll take control and then use the empathy, the part of maybe the empathy turns into a shell of empathy because of this choice, right? But there was, according to the CD, there was empathy once. I heard about Donald Trump, that he was hurt at some point by some things that happened. And that kind of thing can turn you cold, right? So, and hard, cold and hard, like ice, crackle, crackle. And so, so maybe psychopathy is just, a fork in the road where you choose to use your empathy for your own good instead of for what it's for, which is navigating in the best of the situation, the fun, the love, the caring, the community. Why do you go to see other people except for the people? I mean, if you try to do it all for yourself, you soon become an idiot, the asshole of the party, right? So don't do that. But then if you do that, you can hide that you're an asshole by charming them and then saying, I know just where you're coming from. Would you pass me my nuts? Sorry. That's just something I saw about Bill Clinton at a football stadium, and there's peanuts being sold, and excuse me, miss, would you pass me my nuts? Anyway, I have no idea where this is going or if it's going anywhere. I just thought I'd mention that psychopathy thing or sociopathy. It's really sad, right? Isn't it? I mean, I wouldn't want to be there. I think in some ways, I'm there, all there, but it's not like I want to control other people and make them believe something that's not real about me, or is it? Is that what I'm doing right now? And then again, I have no power and I'm not interested in power because it disgusts me and it always has disgusted me because, I've, as a very young boy, I've met just briefly, luckily, somebody who wanted to control the game. I remember we were playing, I think, on what is that called? I forgot the name. Or maybe it was a branch from an apple tree. Anyway, we were playing that this thing we were on was, well, one was playing, he was out sailing. Another one was riding. I don't know exactly what the things were. Uh, Riding, sailing, and waging war. Let's take those. But it was three different things. I'm not even sure about the branch or the ding dong, ding dong. Anyway, we were just going along with each other's ideas, and you know, this is role play, and you have to make things adapt all the time. It's like music. What is he playing that for? Oh, here's a chord for that. Why does he mention the ocean? I was riding a horse. Oh, I know it's a seahorse, and stuff like that. Along came this idiot who could not hold all the three games in his own head. Also, because he was number four, he didn't know what went on, and we did. So he started to take control and said, "No, oh, let's play army. I'll be the general." And ever since then, I mean, I remember the awkwardness of that situation. It's not that we were scared of him. I was just scared of telling him to fuck off because that's not nice. I don't want to be unnice. I'm still looking for a nice way to say F off without using F. I mean, go play with your ideas in a place where it's more appropriate than exactly here because we don't follow your ideas right now because we're somewhere else. Hello, empathy. But that would be unemphatic of me. So, now, look here now. We're playing this. I'm going to have to explain in an academic way what just went on. Oh, let me see now. Peter was saying he was riding a horse. So That didn't even enter my mind. I was 6 years old or something. I wasn't capable of a complete psychological analysis of of a person of different orientation. Maybe he wasn't an asshole. It was just the tone of his voice, the ease with which he just took control for a couple of seconds until somebody said, I gotta go, I think I gotta eat right now. I think it's breakfast time at my place. Bye bye. Anyway, psychopathy, sociopathy, the lack of, I think it's really not being able to understand that in a way it's we're playing roles, and you can't just tell somebody you're not the instructor. You can't tell somebody play this role. That is uncomfortable and rude and disrespectful. What you should do, I mean, you should read Kierkegaard about helping someone else. And if you're not about helping, you should read just about anything about existentialism. Do that. Jean-Paul Sartre, Albert Camus, I mean, Immanuel Kant, what's he called? Moridor, Amoribu, Bordeguba, Cordebu, Schmodehu, Wagalu, Blugabu. He's got this weird name, Gerdebu, that means something weird. Erdogan? No, it's not. Which is Erdogan? No, he's Ambodi, Lembodi, Amori, Embodi, Eco. Not Umberto Eco. Eke Homo, Eke Homo, Womo Mumake, Pepidi Boo Boo. Now, you should read something from before Ronald Reagan. That's something there. Before Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher and the neoliberalistic simplification. And then you should also read mm, Chronicle of the Universe. Read that one. That's a good one. It's by the guy who made TV programs for BBC, and they were called Connections, and it was all about how the match. To invent the match, you had to have a pencil and kill a deer and take its antler and weird stuff. Connections, antler, match, uh, cardboard paper, a queen in somewhere. Like the connection of the pizza, uh, because apparently, isn't that the expression? Apparently, there was once a guy who wanted to praise and pay tribute to the Queen of Italy. Uh, Her name was Margherita. So he wanted to make a dish that reflected the Italian flag. So, well, that's white, green, and red. So he created the dish that is white, green, and red, and that's the pizza. The tomatoes are red, not green, not back then, and the oregano is green, and the cheese is white because he didn't know how to bake a pizza to make it brown and taste more. So that's a connection as well. This is enough of me forever. Thanks very much.